All right, this is your daily X report for Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. Let's jump right in and see what went down. So here's our breakdown of what was buzzing on X yesterday. And what a day it was. It was a day of just wild contrasts. I mean, we're talking about everything from truly heartbreaking tragedy to massive political shakeups and, some big viral celebrations.
Okay, to get you up to speed real quick, there were 5 huge stories that really drove the conversation. First, a horrific school shooting in Minneapolis. Then, you had the CDC director suddenly getting removed. X rolled out a new View Quotes button, which is pretty cool. The US slapped some heavy new tariffs on Indian imports, and on a way lighter note, Taylor Swift's engagement got confirmed. We're gonna break all of it down.
But look, we have to start with the story that it overshadowed everything else yesterday. A truly devastating event that happened in Minneapolis.
So, news broke pretty early in the day about a shooting at the Annunciation Catholic School. And the details, they just flooded the platform in real time. You have parents, journalists, really the whole nation just watching this unfold in horror.
And then the most tragic detail of all came out, the human cost. 2 children were killed. That's a number that it stops you cold. And as you can imagine, it just fueled this massive outpouring of grief and, frankly, a lot of anger across the entire platform.
And it wasn't just the 2 fatalities. Another 17 people were injured. Reports also said the shooter was deceased. The sheer scale of this tragedy, it completely dominated everyone's feeds and kicked off these really urgent conversations about school safety and gun violence.
Now, while all of this was unfolding, yesterday was also a huge day for politics and policy. We saw some major moves happening both in Washington and on the world stage.
Okay, so this one kind of came out of nowhere. The CDC director, Susan Monterez, was removed from her job. And what's really wild is the timing here. She was in that role for less than a month. I mean, that is an incredibly short time for such a critical position.
So you're probably asking, why the sudden exit? Well, reports like this quote here from the New York Times, they're pointing to some serious clashes happening internally, and it was all over really hot-button issues, vaccine policies and big reforms at the agency. As you'd expect, this news just immediately lit a fire under the debate about the future of public health leadership.
Switching over to international policy, this number was the big headline, 50%. That's the new tariff rate the Trump administration just put on imports from India, and it officially kicked in yesterday. We're talking about a move that impacts billions of dollars in trade, and believe me, it completely changed the economic conversations happening online.
And the policy news didn't even stop there. On top of that, we saw reports that FEMA employees were put on leave just for speaking out against budget cuts. And at the same time, a bunch of American platforms, X included, filed a huge lawsuit against the UK censorship laws. So suddenly you've got this global flashpoint over free speech.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the platform itself and the world of tech. There were some pretty key updates for all of us as users, and a ton of excitement building around what SpaceX is up to.
So X rolled out a really handy new feature yesterday, the View Quotes button. You know how you used to have to hunt through all the replies? Well, now you can see all the quoted responses to a viral post in one nice clean feed. It's a small change for sure, but users were loving it right away. Seeing it makes following the whole conversation so much easier. At the same time, the tech and space communities were absolutely buzzing. SpaceX was dropping updates on the prep for Starship Flight 11, and this of course just generated a huge wave of talk about the future of orbital flight and where we're all headed out there in the stars.
And of course, X is where culture just happens, right? In real time. So yesterday's feed was this wild mix of pure celebration, some really intense competition, and a little bit of simmering controversy.
And here it is, the news that honestly brought a much-needed bit of joy to the timeline. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Their engagement was officially confirmed. The reaction was just immediate and huge. Fans were literally calling it the royal wedding of our generation. But then, at the same time, you had a totally different kind of viral moment that really shows you the emotional range of the feed. There was this super tense post-match exchange between tennis players Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko. It totally captivated sports fans, and it's a perfect example of just how raw and unscripted things can get on the platform. And yeah, it wasn't all fun and games. A more serious story started to pick up steam, with reports claiming that dark money, political spending where you don't know the source, was being used to pay influencers in some Democratic campaigns. This kicked off a really complex and important debate about transparency and political influence online. So, wow. After a day just packed with news, what should we be keeping an eye on now? Okay, here are the big threads to follow. First and foremost, obviously, any updates from the Minneapolis shooting investigation. We're also waiting for official responses to that whole CDC leadership mess. All eyes are on SpaceX for what's next with Starship Flight 11. And of course, we'll be tracking that UK free speech lawsuit and any news about new creator features right here on X. And that kind of brings us to a final thought here. Yesterday was just a perfect snapshot of what it's like to be online today, isn't it? You've got profound tragedy, high-stakes policy decisions, and pure pop culture joy, all crashing into each other in one single feed. So the question I'll leave you with is this. When one platform gives us this totally unfiltered view of the world, what does that demand from us, as users and maybe even as citizens?
That's your daily X report by MakeXGreat.com. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow for the next one.